Paranormal busters used to live on this island. And I saw something very, very strange. Exactly. I was like, damn, I had the fight kicked in.
Hey, girl.
Owen.
It's okay. She won't hurt us.
And then the creature, did this. That's when I started to realize what the hell it was. It was lying down like this. Right over here. It was like 6 feet tall in height.
But our journey begins in the pages of the Bible, starting with the book of Job. Several Makele and Bembe eyewitnesses that were clearly representative of a sauropod dinosaur, complete with the bulky body, long neck and tail. And series of dermal
This would also give evolutionists now the task of basically trying to determine why some dinosaurs survived while others went extinct. Science, paleozoology, where they would have a living dinosaur to discover rather than just the dry fossilized bones. But I also believe, in a nutshell, that
during their exploration of the area and series of dermal under the lotus plants, it lies hidden among the reeds and the marsh. The lotuses conceal it in their shadow. The team split up, leaving Gibbons and Kirk at the camp to observe the river. The poplars by the stream surround it. A raging river does not alarm it. It is secure, though the Jordan should surge against its mouth. Can anyone capture it by the eyes, or trap it and pierce its nose?
Hell? That ain't no tiger. We don't have tigers and lions on this island, or bears. Nothing that big. Cats are not that big. So I kept walking towards it. Then, it hissed at me.
What I saw inside of it changed my life, will probably change my life for as long as I walk this planet.
Staring back at her was something that shouldn't have been there. It looked like a red blood cell.
There were 5 large eggs, 2 of which were crusted up shells.
What strength it has in its loins, what power in the muscles of its belly. Its tail sways like a cedar, the sinews of its thighs are close-knit.
Have nucleated red blood cells, and these things that I was seeing in the vessel channels of the bone were nucleated.
Its bones are tubes of bronze, its limbs like rods of iron.
Broken shells, 2 of which were intact, and a third one was broken, and that is...
And technology of molecular biology might now be used to understand these long-vanished creatures.
is the egg that contained a living animal.
Frank says he quickly called his wife Camille over so that she could snap these pictures. Sadly, they say the living creature died that day.
Just struggled to stay alive, struggled for breath. Just struggled to stay alive, struggled for breath. just struggled to stay alive, struggled for breath. Just struggled to stay alive, struggled for breath.
And I went, what the hell? I started running towards it. Then I went, wow! Big roar, right? And I'm like, what the? Like a lion's roar. I felt it. I stopped, right? Then I went, hey! Hey! And then it turned around, right? Looked back, and went, and then ran at nighttime into the cornfield. Right?
All right, so the real reason...
That's Tina's version.
When the asteroid struck, most of the impact energy was deflected out or up. Only 1% of the force traveled down into the ground. But it's enough to ring the planet like a bell.
Claire, we're gonna sink! Water's leaking! Oh God! We need to get out! Bradley, watch out!
The end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood.
Radiate away from the impact zone at 4 kilometers per second. The waves then trigger fault-slipping earthquakes across the continents. If you were on the other side of the world, you would feel the ground shaking 30 minutes after impact.
God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged, and the fountains also of the deep.
Big rock strikes. Its splash accounts for 25 trillion tons of earth that it launches on ballistic trajectories.
And the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the earth continually.
Quadrillion gallons of water into the atmosphere, which then condenses into massive storm clouds and falls back as torrents of acid rain that acidified the oceans. In the higher latitudes,
And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated, and the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat.
Continental-wide snowstorms deposit tens of feet of snow per day, but the global deluge doesn't last long, because in addition to water, Chicxulub vaporizes and explosively ejects 150 football stadiums worth of oil from the Yucatan bedrock. This oil condenses in the stratosphere as a black sooty layer covering the Earth.
We gotta get out.
We just fell from the cliff. We're alive. We're alive.
Franklin?
Move. No.
Jailobus is located on the southern coast of Madeira, west of Funchal, and it is considered a suburb.
Jailobus is located on the southern coast of Madeira, west of Funchal, and it is considered...
The real reason is the difference in algae.
Oh.
So on
Very
the green
technical,
on the green lake, the algae colors it green, and on the blue lake, it colors it blue.
Uh-huh.
Or the
Of one of Madeira's fathers, a Portuguese. Towards a small village of Câmara Jailobus.
Wow! Oh, there was a huge bird. Huge bird.
Câmara Jailobus is located on the southern coast of Madeira, west of Funchal, and it is considered a suburb.
Yeah, we gotta go because
more later.
Here we go!
Câmara Jailobus
is located on the southern coast of Madeira, west of Funchal, and it is considered a suburb.
We just landed in Ponta Delgada, which is located on São Miguel.
So you two dig up dinosaurs?
They blew through it.
Understandably, Frank and Camille were dumbfounded by what they say happened to them, but they understand the seriousness of their find.
Think about the ramifications. Think about it. I mean, panic. You know what panic? And people, the first thing, the biggest thing that struck us, we don't want people out there shooting each other.
So naturally, they called not National Geographic, not the New York, so you know it must be true. But there's one problem. He's in Africa, and no one can seem to find him.
Approximately a foot wide. They obviously had pads. They had nails, toenails.
What do you think Mekele Mbembe is?
Well, that's a very good question. Over the years in conducting these expeditions, the descriptions have remained very consistent from the Congo and Central African Republic to branch into a new area of science, paleozoology, where they would have a living dinosaur to discover rather than just the dry fossilized bones. But I also believe in a nutshell that this would also give evolutionists now the task of
They say there was another person on the dig site with them, a laborer. Okay, finally someone who can back up their story.
Just call him Bob. I don't want to give a last name, but he's was working with us on that day. And
At first, there appeared to be nothing out of the ordinary, because what she was looking at when she placed the slide under the microscope had never been seen before.
I was shocked. I was really surprised. The thing that was cool about it is we know very little, really, about these beasts that once walked on the surface of our planet.
Doing things at your own pace and not feeling rushed. You just pointed at something. I don't know what you just pointed at, but it seemed cool.
What's the symbol of your flag for America?
Bald eagle? Bald eagle?
It wasn't bald eagle, but
Oi.
Wow!
Oi, there was a huge
huge. Those huge bird. Huge bird.
Down, discovering different areas of the garden on each level. Okay, do you see that over there? It looks like a dinosaur. Well, I'm going to take you with me.
Wow.
There's a blue lake. The famous lake, which is in the center of a volcano. So this is the
Boca do Inferno, which means the viewpoint from the mouth of hell.
What?
Yeah.
Lake where there's a green one.
And a blue one on the other side of the causeway.
People are always saying the Azores has 4 seasons in one day. Is that true?
Sometimes in 1 hour, my friend.
Ponta Delgada in San Miguel Island on the Azores, and the scenery is absolutely lush and green.
Isn't it?
It's very humid, and it's just absolutely beautiful.
There's lots of hydrangeas.
They say you can experience 4 seasons in 1 day on this island, meaning it can get cold. They say you can experience 4 seasons in 1 day on this island, meaning it can get cold.
An alignment of what I wanted to talk about this morning. And let's talk about that. Legends abounding in the histories of many peoples are accounts of great lizard-like beasts with which men have had to contend.
It's changing again.
We're seeing for the first time in 66 million years.
Dinosaurs and man, 2 species separated by 65 million years of evolution, have just been suddenly thrown back into the mix together.
Could it be true? Are dinosaurs still roaming the earth? And could they be in, of all places, the mountains near Lake Tahoe?
The first thought that entered my mind was, I've disturbed something which I shouldn't have disturbed, something which should have been left alone.
Frank Sharrow is a building contractor from Gardnerville, Nevada. He and his wife Camille claim that they found a living, breathing, prehistoric creature. This is going to be
thigh bone. So as we narrow those possibilities down, what we're left with probably is an animal called a thessalosaur.
Hello everyone. This is just a phone. It's a ghost app, right? That's not what this is about.
Belong.
This is Google Earth, right?
Dr. Pepper, a unique blend of 23 flavors, because more is more.
Lush greenery and Japanese trees.
It is.
Just absolutely
it's
beautiful.
raining. It's raining just a tiny bit, but lots of low cloud on the hills. You can see in the background.
But the
fish leaping in the lake.
But the fish
into, including turtles, large fish, even smaller mosasaurs. Okay, folks, let's see if she's still hungry after already eating today. She's a little shy.
You can see in the background.
But the
fish leaping in the lake.
But the fish.
Apparently, there might be sea creatures out there that are much larger than the blue whale. Yeah, whether or not this blue creature is real, but it's based on this underwater sound recorded in 1997.
this stop we stopped at, we couldn't see anything, could we? It was thick fog, so we didn't get off the bus.
No.
So everybody
So
just
this
said...
is the
You'll have to get used to Dr. Malcolm. He suffers from a deplorable excess of personality, especially for a mathematician.
Chaotician, actually. John doesn't subscribe to chaos, particularly what it has to say about his little science project.
Oh, swallow it, Ian. You've
Dr. Pepper, a unique blend.
Sound recorded in 1999. If that came from an animal, the animal is estimated to be around 2,625 feet long, which is about twice as large as the Empire State Building. And just compare it to the blue whale. Wow. Can you imagine seeing an animal that gigantic?
Humans and dinosaurs are now going to be forced to coexist. These creatures were here before us. And if we're not careful, they're going to be here after. We're going to have to adjust to new threats that we can't imagine.
Is located on the southern coast of Madeira, west of Funchal, and it is considered a sub.
Is located on the southern coast of Madeira, west of Funchal, and it is considered.
We've entered a new era. Welcome to Jurassic World.
Ring cameras have captured all sorts of things, but what is this? The Florida homeowner thinks it looks like a baby dinosaur.
I started running towards it. Then it went, wow! Big roar, right? And I'm like, what the? Like a lion's roar. I felt it. I stopped, right? Then I went, hey! Hey! And then it turned around, right? Looked back, and went, and then ran at nighttime into the cornfield, right?
We're caught on surveillance video that has everyone asking, what the heck is that thing? The Florida homeowner is convinced it's a baby dinosaur. Dinosaur on the loose, agreed someone on Facebook. Lots of folks think it looks like Blue, the baby raptor from Jurassic World.
thousands of years.